Hey everybody, Tim Dwyer here from South Australia. How you doing? Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're looking forward to a great weekend. And if you see this before the weekend and you're not real sure, come to the rallies. Now I know there's nobody in the public offices, they can't hear what we're saying, but they do hear what we're saying, but they don't pay any attention to it. But that's not what the rallies are about. The rallies are about uniting as one force, one heart, one mind. And so it builds strength within each person that goes. Today, I want to talk about the authority. Who has the authority? So I'm not going to prattle on anymore here. Let me open up my PowerPoint and let's get stuck in because I've had a guts full. I don't know about you, but I've had it absolutely up to the bloody neck. So it is my opinion that Australia is under the control of a monolithic international terrorist organisation. Its political class and the entire judiciary are engaged and conspiring with the enemy. What enemy? The enemy of freedom, the enemy of peace. That would make them the terrorists and the communists, the enemy of free enterprise. You see, no country should have this many businesses and farms destroyed for just shits and giggles from the communists. Let's move on. These two insipid little turds wish to take away so much of our freedom. They want to control what you see and they want to control what you say. They want to shut down any and all dissent without any real authority. Where is their authority? Who has the authority? Now, Karen, tell me and tell the people how much of the internet you actually own or have control over. Do you own my life? And do you have any authority over my thoughts and my actions? And do you own our children and grandchildren? Produce the legitimate authority that you have over me and them, us and them. You do not have the authority to shut down free speech. Show us your authority. Let's see. Now, hey, Elbow Ellery, you bastard born communist. Tell the people how much of the internet you own. Do you own my life? And do you have any authority over my thoughts and my actions? Do you own our children? Produce the legitimate authority that you have over them or us. Show us your authority. You insipid little man. You have no authority. The Statute Law Revision Act of 1973. Listen to this. The Crimes Act, as amended by the Crimes Act 1973, continue section 65, omit, which means take out, from paragraph 1, the Great Seal of the Commonwealth and insert the Great Seal of Australia. Our Constitution was created under the Great Seal of the Commonwealth. Our Constitution was enacted under that. The Great Seal of Australia is a corporate seal. Now, for any of you watching this, if you have companies, proprietary limited companies, you have a company seal and you also have a company constitution. And the only people who are bound by the document called that company constitution are the directors and the employees of that company. These people recreated their own constitution outside our lawful 1901 constitution, and therefore it is only binding on the employees of that corporation. They have no authority over you and I. We are trained to obey authority. Let's look at this structure of authority, shall we? Now, I'm not saying we should go rogue, lawless. but we should only obey legitimate, lawful authority, of which in Australia at the moment, there is none, zero, zip, nada. A universal maximum of law. God created everything. Whether you like it or not, that's a universal maximum law. Now, man didn't like God's laws too much. They were a bit strict for him, right? However, God had created man, and the created cannot be greater than that which created it. Man might want to be greater than God, but he's not. The created cannot be greater than that which created it. So man, not liking God's laws, made his own laws and created a government, a body of people to manage the affairs of the day. The created cannot be greater than that which created it. Man, woman, you and I, we create the government. The government cannot be greater than that which created it. So the government created corporations and entities to convince you that they have authority over you. No, it's a con job. Convince. You see, it's not who you are that is holding you back. It's who you've been trained to think you are not. You are the authority. You have the power. You've just been trained to hand it over to somebody else. You see, here's where our law is. Starts off with the Magna Carta 1215, comes up through the English Bill of Rights of 1688, comes over into our Constitution Act of 1900 UK. This is our law. This is where the actual lawful authority resides in this country. Now, the legislative power of the Commonwealth shall be vested in the federal parliament, which shall consist of the Queen, and you'll see in a minute they got rid of her, a Senate and a House of Representatives, which is hereinafter called the Parliament or the Parliament of the Commonwealth, not the Australian Parliament. The Australian Parliament or the Parliament of Australia, however they want to put it, is a corporate bastardization of our legal system, of our political system. It does not exist in our law. It does not. You see, let's have a look at this. This is the document that created the office of the Governor General, the letters patent. Here is Queen Victoria's Great Seal. The seal is where the authority is enacted from. Now, the Statute Law Revision Act of 1973, right, as amended, the Crimes Act 1973, continue Section 5, omit from paragraph 1 the Great Seal of the Commonwealth. Omit, take out, with the stroke of a pen. No referendum, don't ask the people, don't tell the people. Omit the Great Seal of the Commonwealth and insert the Great Seal of Australia. That is a convince you. That is, the Great Seal of Australia is a fraud document. It is a fraud seal. It's a seal of a company called Australia. Got nothing to do with our Commonwealth. You see, this is the bullshit seal created by the Whitlam Labor Party, carried on by the Liberals, and has no actual Crown authority of any kind. Elizabeth II, the Queen of Australia, that is a bullshit seal. So the Great Seal of Australia was put there in 73 by Goof Whitlam, and every political party ever since has gone along with the con. They have no authority. It is the purported authority, the assumed authority. There is no authority in these people. Now, today we've got this thing, elbow sleeves bucket, the bastard communist, presented this to the people and King Charles, created by the corporate commonwealth, therefore has no actual authority outside the corporation. It is just a corporate seal that has nothing to do with the non-corporate commonwealth. If you do not work for the Australian government, this seal and whatever purported authority they say it has nothing to do with you. It is beholding only on their employees of the corporation. And you and I are not part of it. You and I are totally separate by law to the corporate commonwealth. The Australian government. This is the seal of the corporation known as the Australian government. Notice this, the kangaroo and the emu, the rat and the chook, is exactly the same as what they've got on here. This is their corporation. All purported laws, acts created under this seal and the previous seal known as the Great Seal of Australia are only to the people employed by that corporation, like any other seal of any other company. The Australian Parliament has no authority at law. The entire government is without a lawful oath of office, and that's from the diversity hire supposed Governor General right down to the last minister put into the office of any parliament. Liberal, Labor, Greens, One Nation, the whole lot. The entire government is without a lawful oath of office, but they lie to you, they steal from you, they sell off your land, they give all the mining rights to everybody else. They make electricity almost so expensive that it's impossible to bloody cook a meal, and they barefaced lie to you. The best thing I'd seen in a long time was when Albanese said to the people in Ballarat, look, I won't bullshit you, right? I won't bullshit you. That's all he's got is bullshit. It runs out of him at 100 miles an hour. And the most beautiful sight was to see those tractors chase that bastard out of town. That is what should be done. The federal government is a massive fraud on the people. They rely on the satanic construct of fear. They really do. And the force of the trained thugs in the state's force called police. Today, the police are a paramilitary organisation, and in the actual constitution, it is forbidden for states to raise a military force. And yet when you look at the armament, the body armour, the vehicles they drive, the weapons they've got, they are a militarised force, period, end of story. And they use that on you and I. They will pepper spray you, shoot you with rubber bullets, intimidate the shit out of you like every other terrorist organisation. That's the police force in every state. I'm sorry, you might be a good copper. I haven't met you yet. I've looked. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, the President of the United States, who they assassinated. Those who make peaceful revolution impossible will make a violent revolution inevitable. Do you know what happens when how many times have we tried to get in touch with politicians and voice our concerns, and you can't even get near them? You send an email, you send a letter, you send a petition, you march in the streets, you do all this stuff, and you go totally ignored. And now they're passing a bill in the bloody parliament that if you want to get access to a politician, you have to be a registered what do they call them? It slipped my mind now. But lobbyist. That you have to be a registered lobbyist to get to a politician these days. What a crock of shit. John Fitzgerald Kennedy is right. You see, unfortunately, history is a cruel master. I love this country and I want to see it stay peaceful. I really, really do. And for that, I'm just telling the politicians and the judges and everybody straight up. pull your friggin' head in. Get your head out of your ass and start listening to people and behaving in a way that is good for the ordinary man and woman in the street trying to survive. See, historically, corrupt officials have not fared well when the people are just pushed too far. A bit of tar and feathering going on, the noose, the chair, the firing squad, the guillotine. These are historical facts, right? These are historical facts. I'm not making this up. I'm just trying to point out to the politicians, get your head out of your ass. You see, in Nepal, they'd had a guts full of it. When the people are stolen from, lied to, and had their voices ignored, everyone has their limits. And in Nepal, the politicians aren't faring too well. They're being dragged out of their houses and beaten. They're being chased down the street. They're having their houses burnt to the ground. I don't want any of that in this country. Not at all. But I'm not responsible for everybody's flashpoint. I'm just not. But the politicians, the bureaucrats, hey, Karen, get out of our life. Elbow, get out of our bloody country and go and live in China, you communist little turd. Let's bring this country back to something that it used to resemble back in the 70s and 80s, where everybody was doing fine and we were living high on the hog. You see, there comes a time when enough is enough. And I'll put it to you this way. We're not asking. We are not asking. We're telling. And if, as per normal, our voice hits deaf ears, round receptacle rubbish bins with our documents, all that sort of stuff, I'm not responsible for what comes next. I will not be responsible for it. I may participate, but I'm not responsible. You will bring it upon yourselves. And all I can say is, may God have mercy on your horrid black souls. My name's Tim Dwyer from South Australia. You guys have a great day, have a great weekend. And yeah, this is our country. They have no authority and we have it all.